Hello guys, welcome to your class. So today we are going to start our fourth chapter, that is Albert Einstein at School. It is written by Patrick Pringle. Albert Einstein, 1879 to 1955, is regarded as the greatest physicist since Newton. In the following extract from the Young Einstein, actually the Young Einstein was the biography of Albert Einstein, which was written by Patrick Pringle. Here, the well-known biographer Patrick Pringle describes the circumstances which led to Albert Einstein's expulsion from German school. That how he was expelled from the German school. Now, in what year Einstein asked the history teacher? Here, this is the scene of his classroom where Albert Einstein, where an argument has been shown between the history teacher and Einstein. So here Einstein is asking that in what year. So okay, that did the in what year Einstein asked the history teacher. History teacher is asking to Einstein, or like an oral test. He is just testing him. Okay, did the Persians defeat the French at Waterloo? And he is asking कि Persians ने जो है वो फ्रेंच को did the Persians ने फ्रेंच को वॉटरलू में हरा दिया था क्या? Now Einstein is answering, I don't know, sir. Why don't you know? The history teacher asked. You have been told it in often enough that I have told you many times that what happened in that. So why don't you remember? Why don't you know? I must have forgotten. Einstein replied that I must have forgotten. Did you ever try to learn? Asked Mr. Braun. Who is Mr. Braun? Mr. Braun is his history teacher. Here this is the argument between the history teacher and Einstein. So he is the teacher. No, sir. Albert replied with his usual unthinking honesty. He didn't even think that what happened, what is to be answered. He just simply answered that no, sir. Why not? I can't see any point in learning dates. And he replied that I can't see any point in learning dates. One can always look them up in a book. So what is his logic, that why to remember the dates and all? It can be simply looked into the books. Then why to bother to learn all these dates and all? So Mr. Braun was speechless for a moment. For a moment, Mr. Braun also, he was thinking over it, that yes, this is the fact that it can be seen, and he was speechless. But somewhere he was just thinking about the logic. So you amaze me. Who said it? The history teacher said it. Okay. Einstein, he said at last, don't you realize that one can always look most things up in books? That applies to all the facts you learn at school. Then he said that if you are saying that the dates can be seen in the books, then everything, whatever the facts you are learning here, every fact can be seen in the book. Then Einstein said, yes, sir. Then I suppose you don't see any point in learning facts. Who is asking it? The teacher is asking it. Frankly, sir, I don't, said Albert Einstein. Okay, then here Mr. Albert Einstein said that yes, sir, frankly, I'm telling you, I don't find any logic in learning facts and all which can be seen in the book. Then you don't believe in education at all? Who is asking it? The history teacher is asking here, that if you are saying so, then I think you don't believe in education at all. Oh, yes, sir, I do. I don't think learning facts is education. And here Albert Einstein is saying that, of course, sir, I believe in education, but I don't find that only learning fact is the education. In that case, said the history teacher with heavy sarcasm, perhaps you'll be so kind as to tell the class the Einstein theory of education. Here, this is the same situation when a child argues with the teacher and with a heavy sarcasm when the teacher asked about his own theory. So the same is happening. अब क्या है कि आइंस्टाइन ने जो एजुकेशन की थ्योरी है, जो नॉर्मल थ्योरी है, उसको डिस्कार्ड कर दिया है. तो हिस्ट्री टीचर एक हैवी सरकाजम के साथ आइंस्टाइन से पूछते हैं, अच्छा तुम हमारी एजुकेशन थ्योरी को नहीं मानते हो, देन यू जस्ट टेल दैट व्हाट इज अ ग्रेट थ्योरी ऑफ आइंस्टाइन रिगार्डिंग एजुकेशन, योर एजुकेशन थ्योरी, यू जस्ट टेल अस. एल्बर्ट फ्लश्ड, वो थोड़ा सा शर्मा गया. आई थिंक इट इज़ नॉट द फैक्ट्स दैट मैटर बट आइडियाज, he said. I don't see the point in learning dates of battles or even which of the armies killed more men, and be more interested in learning why those soldiers were trying to kill each other. Okay, now here this is the theory of Einstein, that what is the education's theory it must be. So I think it's not the facts that matter, sir, that he is saying. It's not, it must not be the fact which is to be learned. In fact, we must be more interested in ideas. Okay, that everybody knows that who killed how many men. It doesn't matter that how many men were killed by someone, but it mattered that why they people they were fighting, why were they killing the men, why were they killing each other. That's enough. Mr. Brown's eyes were cold and cruel, that he was so cruel that he was not interested in just, although he was telling the thing logically, but the teacher, he was not ready to listen to him because he was challenging his ego. And we don't want a lecture from Einstein. Now here initially he himself was asking about his theory, but now when he saw that he had the logical answer, then he was quite irritated, and he said that I don't want to just listen your theory, you'll stay in for an extra period today, and today after school for one extra period you will stay here in the school. Although I don't imagine it will do much good, it won't do the school any good either. You are a disgrace. Disgrace means we speak for somebody that तुम तो कलंक हो हमारी धरती पे या हमारे देश के लिए. So here the teacher is saying that you are a disgrace, तुम हमारे स्कूल के लिए एक कलंक हो. Okay, how negatively the teacher is speaking about Einstein, because till that time they didn't know about the great theories and the great qualities of Albert Einstein. So they were behaving like they were treating Mr. Einstein like a dumb child who had no senses, who was not willing to even study. He had no point in education. Here I don't know why you continue to come. So history teacher is asking that I don't know why you come to continue. I'm just simply amazed. If you don't have any interest in studies, if you don't want to receive your education, if you don't want to complete your education, that I'm amazed why you are coming to school. Why don't you just get out? It's not my wish, sir. Here Mr. Einstein is saying that of course sir, I'm also not willing to come to school. Then you are an ungrateful boy and ought to be ashamed. History teacher is saying that then you are an ungrateful boy. एक तुम एक एहसान फरामोश बच्चे हो जिसे शर्म आनी चाहिए, जिसे शर्मिंदा होना चाहिए of yourself. I suggest you ask your father to take you away. And मैं तुम्हें सलाह देता हूँ that you just ask your father to take you away from here. Albert felt miserable when he left the school that afternoon. He left the school in a miserable condition. Not that it had been a bad day. This was not the reason that the day was bad. Most days were bad now. anyway. Okay, because his days were, most of the days were in the same situation anyway. But because what was the reason actually he had to go back to the hateful place? Here what has been used for school, hateful place. When you don't have any friend in your school, when you don't have the teachers support, and when especially you are not interested in receiving the education in the of education, and uh, according to the education system of the school, then this happens with the children. And maybe like Einstein, many of you people may feel like Einstein about school. Okay, so the next morning he only wished his father would take him away. And he was, what was his wish? That, oh God, the next morning means till tomorrow my father would come and he just take me away from here. He there was, but there was no point even asking. But there was no point in even asking, because he knew the answer. What he knew, what the answer would be. And Einstein knew कि पापा से तो पूछने में, फादर से तो पूछने में भी कोई फ़ायदा नहीं है कि वो मुझे यहाँ से ले जाए, बिकॉज ही न्यू द आंसर ऑफ हिज फादर. He would have to stay until he had taken his diploma, and this was quite sure that his father would say that he had to stay there until he would get his diploma. Going back to his lodgings did not cheer him up. Now he is not happy after going his lodgings. Lodgings means wherever he is living. His father had so little money to spare that Albert had to found a room in one of the poorest quarters of Munich. Munich is the place where Albert Einstein is studying. So his father was a poor person and he had no sufficient money to provide him basic facilities. So he had to find a place which is in slum, and which had very, low facilities. No standard facilities were available. He did not mind the bad food and lack of comfort. And what things matter for him here for Einstein, that he was not talking about the bad food which he was getting, or lack of comfort which he had to just bear, but or even the dirt and squalor, but he hated the atmosphere of slum violence. He was not happy with the slum violence. The bad food and lack of comfort were not the problem for him. The problem was slum violence. His landlady beat her children regularly, and every Saturday her husband came drunk and beat her. This was a real problem, that he hated that slum violence. जो डोमेस्टिक वायलेंस थी उसे वो बहुत ज़्यादा परेशान था, बिकॉज लैंडलेडी क्या करती थी, वो डेली अपने बच्चों को पीटती थी, वो अपनी फ्रस्ट्रेशन बच्चों पे निकालती थी. एंड उसके हस्बैंड जो हर सैटरडे को आते थे, वो अपनी फ्रस्ट्रेशन अपनी वाइफ के ऊपर निकालते थे. बट एट लीस्ट यू हैव अ रूम ऑफ योर ऑन. हियर Mr. Einstein is talking to his friend Yuri. Which is more than I can say, said Yuri when he called round in the evening. Here Yuri is saying to Albert Einstein that you have at least your own room, your separate room. You live alone. This is good thing. At least you live among civilized human beings. Who is saying this? Mr. Einstein is saying this. Even if they are all poor students, said Albert. Here, Mr. Albert is saying that it doesn't matter that I have a room. What it matters, that at least you are living among civilized persons. That I am living among the domestic violence, slum violence. So I know where I am living. At least you are living among civilized persons. They are not all civilized, Yuri replied. Did you not hear that one of them was killed last week in a duel? एक द्वंद्व में, एक लड़ाई में उनमें से एक जो है ना लास्ट वीक ही मारा गया. And what happens to one who killed him? And Einstein is asking that to what happened to him, that who killed, उसके साथ क्या हुआ जिसने उसे मारा था. Nothing, of course. He is even proud of it. And Yuri is replying that तुम्हें नहीं पता कि उसे तो मारने का दुख भी नहीं है, बल्कि उसे तो प्राउड है कि उसने किसी को मार डाला. His only worry is that the authorities have told him not to fight any more duels. उसकी टेंशन सिर्फ इतनी है कि अथॉरिटीज़ ने उसे ये बोला है कि तो उसे और अगर लड़ाई उसने की तो उसके लिए बहुत बुरा होगा. उसकी सिर्फ प्रॉब्लम ये है कि उसे और लड़ाइयाँ नहीं करने दी जाएंगी. ही इज़ अपसेट अबाउट दिस बिकॉज ही हैज़ंट अ सिंगल स्कैर on his face to wear for the rest of his life as a badge of honor. अब क्या है, वो क्या समझते हैं, वो लड़ाई को अपना जो है ना एक ऑनर समझते हैं. और स्पेशली तब जब उनके फेस पे एक मार्क आ गया हो. दैट इज वरी इज वाई ही वॉज वरी दैट अब उसे ज़्यादा लड़ाइयाँ तो लड़नी नहीं है क्योंकि अथॉरिटी ने मना कर दिया है. और उसके फेस पे आज तक भी एक भी स्कैर नहीं है, एक भी मार्क नहीं है कि उसे ये याद दिला सके कि ये मार्क उसे कब मिला था. एंड दिस मार्क वुड बी, अगर उसे मार्क मिल जाता फेस पे तो उसके लिए बड़े ऑनर की बात होती. अग explained Albert, and these are the students. Okay, और ये students हैं. Albert Einstein is quite shocked. Well, you'll be a student one day, said Yuri. And he said that yes, of course, and you will be also a student one day. So I doubt it, said Albert glumly. I don't think I'll ever pass the exams for the school diploma. When Yuri said that, of course, you will be a student one day, then Albert Einstein says that I doubt it. That someday I would pass it and I would get a diploma. He told his cousin Elsa the same next time that she came to Munich. Normally, she lived in Berlin, where her father had a business. Albert Einstein, as I told you in the summary, Albert Einstein had a very close relation with two persons only. One was his friend Yuri, and another was his cousin Elsa. So his cousin Elsa, she lived in Berlin, but sometimes she came there to Einstein to meet him, and he and her father had a business. I am sure you could learn enough to pass the exam. Now this is the trusting words of Elsa for Albert Einstein. Albert, if you tried, अगर तुमने कोशिश की होती, she said, तो तुम पास हो गए होते. अगर तुमने कुछ लर्न करने की कोशिश की होती. I know lots of boys who are much more stupid than you are who get through. And what Elsa is saying, that this is not a big deal to pass the exams and to get a diploma, because I have seen many more boys who are more idiots than you are. You are a good guy. In fact, तुमसे भी ज़्यादा जो डम बच्चे हैं उनको भी पास होते हुए देखा है मैंने. दे से यू डोंट हैव टू नो एनीथिंग, यू डोंट हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट यू आर टॉट, just be able to repeat it in this exam. Now, Albert Einstein is saying that yes, Elsa, I know I am not as stupid as the other boys are, but what the problem is, they are asking me to cram the things. They are saying that you need not to understand what we are teaching you. Okay, you just cram it and repeat the same in the exam, and I can't do it. That's the whole trouble, said Albert. I am no good at learning things by heart, that I can't learn the things by heart. I can just understand the things. According to Albert, he was good in understanding the things, but he was not good in learning the things, learning the facts. You don't need to be good at all. Okay, good at it. Anyone can learn like a parrot, you just don't try. Now Elsa is saying that this is not the case with you, that you are not good in it. Okay, this is no need to cram and all. बस तुम्हें क्या करना है कि तुम्हें जब बस तोते की तरह रटना है, तुम्हें इसमें बहुत एक्सेल होने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. And yet I always see you with a book under your arm, else added Elsa. And I always see you that you have always a book under your arm. So what is one you are reading? So she is keenly interested that what actually Einstein was reading. A book on geology. Geology, rocks and things. Do you learn that? No, we have hardly any science at school. Then why are you studying it? Because I like it. Isn't that a good enough reason? Elsa sighed. Here, Einstein is saying that I have a geology under my arm. It means I have always geology with me. Elsa is quite shocked. The geology, rocks and things. Do you learn that? कि तुम याद करते हो उसे? Then Albert Einstein replied that no, हमारे स्कूल में hardly कोई science है. Then Elsa is asking, then why are you studying it? Then Albert Einstein is replying, because I like it. मैं इस चीज़ को पसंद करता हूँ, मैं जूलॉजी को पसंद करता हूँ. एंड आई थिंक दिस रीज़न इज़ इनफ फॉर लर्निंग, फॉर कीपिंग जूलॉजी विद मी फॉर लर्निंग. नाउ हियर एल्जा साइड. सो टुडे this is all about, and we are going to continue tomorrow. Until then, thank you and have a nice day, children.